What's up, everybody? Doc Dog 1985. There's levels to this. Sometimes we can get upset when something that we really liked starts changing directions in terms of what the target audience is, right? So I'll give you an example. So I remember growing up watching Batman, and I remember the Batman that I grew up with. This dude was bad. This dude was scary. I remember I would come home 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It'd be like a shadow. Dun, 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 the big WB sign, the big Batman shadow, everything. I could picture in my face now. And they show the Batmobile, right? And then the Joker. And it was like dark, gritty. That's the type of Batman I grew up with. And then as time went on, I felt like they made Batman a little bit more and a little bit more soft and a little bit, whatever. Like Batman is still probably the hardest hero out there, but they still kind of, soften him up a little bit. They did the same thing with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I remember growing up watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like they had a little bit of rough, gritty New York to them. They were still funny, but it wasn't, it's not like, what it is now. But with all that being said, it's because you're not the target audience anymore. It changes. Even in music, your favorite rap genre might not sound the way that you remember it sounding, but it's not. You're not the target audience anymore. Like it is. It is what it is. The same thing is happening with video games, and the first time that it happened would be with games that were filled with microtransactions. A lot of people complained about them. Guess what? It doesn't matter. You weren't the target audience. They got the target audience, which was the youth, and it worked. And people started buying microtransactions. It is what it is, right? A lot of these battle royales, all this other stuff, you might not be the target audience. It doesn't matter. A lot of people playing them, so it is what it is. This next wave of gaming that's happening right now, which is putting games everywhere, which everybody is doing right now except for Nintendo. Okay, PlayStation is putting games on more than just PlayStation. Xbox is obviously putting games everywhere. Might not be for you, but again, it doesn't matter. You're not the target audience, right? There's something else happening though, and it's the whole streaming of game and cloud gaming. Okay, till this day, I could sit here and look you in your face and tell you the truth. I could look you in your eyes and tell you the truth. Okay, Stadia was the best technology wise. And I remember there was something special that Stadia did. Shout out to my dude MM2K who explained this to me, where Stadia's controller connected to your network. So it's not like the game was connected to the network and then the controller was connected to whatever device you were streaming from. No, 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 no. The controller itself was like connected to the network somehow. It was crazy. Apparently, I saw something that Xbox is going to try to do something the same, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about the fact that I guess cloud gaming is succeeding for Xbox, and cloud gaming is doing well. Why does that matter for me and you as gamers? Well, these companies are going to follow success. Point blank, period. I don't see a future where you and I are playing where we don't have the option to have a dedicated hardware device. I don't see that. I don't see that. But I could see a future, maybe a few years from now, maybe even 20 years from now, who knows, where the main way to game will be cloud. We might not be that target audience by then anymore. Heck, I would argue that we're probably not the target audience right now. If you're wondering how old I am, I got gray beard. I got gray beards. You see that? You see that? I got gray beard. I'm 40 years old. So, well, I'll be 40. I'm not really 40 yet. I'll be 40. But anyways, um, yeah, there it is. We're not the target audience anymore. I cannot recommend Xbox cloud gaming to be your main source of gaming. I can't. I can't recommend GeForce Now to be your main source of gaming just for the simple fact that you got to buy the game still. Okay. But when Stadia was out, same thing. The problem was the fact that you had to buy those games, right? Still, and then you had to, play them, and then you didn't really own them or whatever. Which now is funny because the whole ownership thing is like out the window, right? Maybe Stadia should just try to stay around a little bit longer. But the target audience is going to be the future of being able to play everywhere, and we see that today. Right now, though, we have dedicated hardware device to be able to play everywhere. But don't get it confused. There's also devices out there made just for streaming. There's the Kishi phone thing, right? That's just made for streaming. There's the G Cloud out there that's just made for streaming. The PS Portal is just made for streaming. So there's a lot of things out there that are just made for streaming. And as the infrastructure gets better, that's the way it's going to keep going. But what scares me is that the infrastructure is not even there right now, and it's still growing. Cloud gaming is still growing. So let me know what you guys feel about that. I don't like that cloud gaming is going. Maybe that's what that growing. Maybe that's what I'll name the video, and then just give me your opinion on it. I'm curious. DocDog1985. There's levels to this, or maybe I just fear something that I don't understand. We out. Peace.